a 2-5 at Maryland Live.
Okay.
They're like 1,400 effective. And I opened Jack 10 of hearts under the gun to 20. It folds to the button, and he 3-bets to 70. Both blinds fold, and I call.
All right. So you're under the gun. This is Maryland
Jack
Live.
10 of hearts.
All right. Maryland Live.
Yeah.
1,400 effective. I think it's a one-cap game, right? One-cap buy-in?
Yeah.
I played there before.
300, 1K buy-in.
Yeah. So you make it 20 with Jack 10 of hearts under the gun. Button 3-bets you to 70, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And both blinds fold, and I call.
All right. So I think that this is a pretty easy defend here with Jack 10 of hearts. I mean, the 3-bet is to, just over 3x, but direct sort of Broadway suited connector here. You guys are 1,400 deep. I mean, I don't think there really is anything but to call here.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I call,
Yeah.
and the flop comes 7 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, 2 of spades.
7 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, 2 of spades. All right, so you flop a gut shot here to a 9, obviously. You've got a backdoor heart draw here, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I kind of wanted to lead the flop, but I checked it to him.
You kind of wanted to lead the flop?
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't.
That's a little strange.
I think it's a good flop. You don't think it's a good flop to lead?
Into the pre-flop 3-better?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tight configuration. You're opening from under the gun. The button 3-bet you. The button is incentivized to actually call sometimes because, with...
Even with ace-king, that's why I didn't, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's just that it would be a very sort of strange, I think a fairly strange lead on a board like this. I mean, I guess you could have pocket 7s, pocket 8s once in a while, but I think checking is usually going to be standard play.
Yeah, I did check. And
Okay.
he continues for 60. And
Okay.
I raised it 200.
So button continuation bets to 60 into about 140. So about, I would say,
A little less than half.
a little less than half. And you make it how much?
200.
Okay. UTG to 200. Sure. I mean, I think that this is one of these ones where it's probably going to be a partial here in the sense that
Yeah.
Here's my take on this is that the theory would go, if you're in a little bit later position here, like say, for example, you had open cutoff and button had 3-bet you and you called, I think you could definitely do this more often. And there's one specific, I mean, there's a couple actually hands here that you would probably have in the cutoff and defend to a 3-bet that's thick value that you probably don't have here. And I would think that would be
Like 8-7?
deuce, and 7-8 suited are probably not going to be opened from under the gun. So if you don't have those hands, then really what you're saying is, hey, like I have, a set of 7s or a set of 8s. So that's a very, very sort of thin, I would say, value range. Now, sometimes...
Yeah, I said in the... Oh, my fault. I said in the email it was like a low frequency raise.
Well, I'm just sort of going over, the texture and the configuration. Sometimes if the guy had bet smaller, you're probably supposed to be raising some hands for protection too, like not like 10s, jacks, queens, something like that. I mean, I don't hate the play. I just want to walk that through with you. If I was your opponent, I'd be like, this is a very, very thin value range here if he doesn't have deuce, and 7-8. And also, too, is he really going to like play like a set on a dry board as fast as this? But okay, you make it 200.
Yeah. He just calls.
Okay.
And
So
the turn is a 3 of hearts.
So the pot's 540. Turn here is the 3 of hearts. So he probably doesn't have ace king, right?
Yeah, he's got like just queens plus, I guess.
Yeah.
Just pretty capped at one pair.
Pretty capped at one pair as opposed to what?
I mean just an overpair. I mean, he's just got an overpair here, like 95% of the time, I would think.
Well, usually people aren't going to be 3-betting with pocket 8s and pocket 7s on the button. I mean, I probably wouldn't either.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, still, ace is going to be one of the best. I I'm not liking it when he calls. Put it that way if I were you. Because, I mean, he's going to fold out sometimes, right? He's not going to have something. He's just going to be continuation betting. Turns to 3 of hearts, 7 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, deuce of spades, 3 of hearts. So, this is great for you, right? I mean, you pick up, you got your back door. This is why this hand is done with more frequency with the back door than, without. I would, I would be really, really looking at my stack here and, trying to figure out how to shape this if I wanted to run like a triple barrel. I mean, it appears to me you've got a little over 1,100 left. So if you were to bet, say, like 300, the pot would be like 1,100. It would be 800 to call. If you went 400, the pot would be like 1,300 and you'd have like 7. So, I think that, if you were going to say, plan this as a triple barrel, any of those sort of sizings are probably pretty decent.
Yeah, so I bet 300.
Okay. I still might actually like a little bit larger sizing to set up it's
like
hard sometimes visually.
River, I think.
So hero bets 300. Okay. And he calls?
Yeah, he calls.
All right, so button calls again. So it's pretty obvious he probably has an overpair, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like the pot here is 1140. One of the other things I'd be thinking about here too is what can I also represent? So obviously it's nice, if you have the heart, if the hearts come in here and the only card that really makes your hand besides the hearts is a 9. Start to think about what other hands might I check raise with that would actually be scary to an overpair. If you had a hand like 9-10, a jack or a 6 would give you a straight. So, it's interesting. Like if a jack gives you top pair, but I would think that your hand probably doesn't have the showdown value. You might go for it. Even if a jack were to come, what would happen on the river?
It's funny, a jack came.
Oh, okay.
Jack of diamonds.
Jack of diamonds. Okay, so you have jack 10 of hearts, it's 7 of hearts, 8 of diamonds, deuce of spades, 3 of hearts, jack. So obviously, you've missed your draw, but you've hit top pair. Now, normally we don't think about, having a situation where we have to turn top pair here into a bluff. We think about it as having too much showdown value. But I got to be honest with you, I would probably go for it here. I mean, you've got the pot's 1140, and it looks like you've got maybe 700, something like that. 800.
Yeah, like 830 left, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that this is a pretty decent card for you. It also, once in a while, if he was holding on with jacks, there's way less combos of that too, because the jack comes. So I might go for it. I might shove here.
Yeah, and I did shove.
Okay.
And I don't think I'd have bluffed it. Do you think I should bluff a 10 here?
Should you bluff a 10?
Because that's what I thought. I wasn't going to bluff a 10, but I think I can continue on a jack. I think I would have just checked it back when lost with a 10.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what is, a 10, if you ever open 5-6, right? That's open-ended. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. What was I thinking of here? No, excuse me, 5-6 doesn't do that. What does the 10 do here? So if you had like jack 9, that's probably a little bit open. That's probably a little bit light as an open under the gun. It really depends on how wide you are kind of opening under the gun. I've certainly opened and called jack 9 suited from under the gun here too. You're not probably going to have 9-6. So obviously a jack is much better for you than a 10. I think that probably any other brick, like the board pairing, is very bad for you. Like an 8 or 7 are very bad for you. I wasn't going to
bluff an 8.
A deuce is very bad for you. Yeah. What ended up happening?
He tanked for 2 minutes, and he asked me if I would show, and I said I would take a picture and show him later.
Okay.
And he folded queens face up.
Wow. So button folds, queen face up. What's interesting here is, with what you're representing, there isn't really much of a difference in hand strength from him having ace, king, or queen. Now, there is obviously a newer school thought where people are like, well, if I want to call down linearly, I'm just going to choose the better hands. Aces is going to be one of my best hands, so that's how I sort of choose it as a call. I mean, I understand that, but it's probably not going to be any different here with him calling queens than aces, like an absolute sort of hand value, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was nicely played.
Here too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was nicely played. I think that you had a plan for the hand. You took the right type of flop. I would still probably tend to think, and this is where we can go back to the computers and look, that this is probably a fairly low check raise situation on the flop, just because your opening range from UTG is so tight that it just doesn't interact with it all that much, like I talked about before. So I think that this is a much better flop check raise if you're in later position versus a button open. But I appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. If you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call-in hand, hit the like button down below. To check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA300 to get the first 30 days for free.